there, Funnily. Welcome back to our place. Let me take you back to a time when gaming meant something completely different. Picture this. You were a kid again, standing in front of your parents' computer. You know, that beige box that sounded like a fighter jet taking off? I wanted to play games so badly. But here's the thing. Our family couldn't afford a gaming PC. Every new game that came out required better hardware, and every hardware upgrade meant hundreds of dollars we simply didn't have. I remember saving up birthday money for months, just hoping to buy one game. And when I finally got it, half the time it wouldn't even run properly because our graphics card was too old, or we didn't have enough RAM. It was this endless cycle of wanting to be part of the gaming community, but being locked out by economics and technology. And it wasn't just about the money. It was about access. If you lived in a smaller town, good luck finding the latest gaming hardware. If your parents weren't tech-savvy, good luck convincing them to invest in upgrades. Gaming, as much as we loved it, was gate-kept by privilege, by who could afford the best equipment, who had access to the newest technology, who lived in the right places. If this story resonates with you, share this video with a friend from a country facing socio-economic challenges where console and PC prices make AAA gaming feel impossible. They need to know these alternatives exist. Fast forward to today, and we're living in a completely different reality. Cloud gaming has fundamentally changed what it means to be a person who games. You don't need a $2,000 gaming rig anymore. You don't need to constantly upgrade your hardware. You can play on your phone, your tablet, your old laptop, even your TV. The barriers that kept so many of us out? They're crumbling. This is what gets me excited about cloud gaming, not just as technology, but as a movement toward accessibility and inclusion. It's about democratizing the gaming experience, making sure that every person, regardless of their economic situation, can participate in this community we love. And if you believe in pushing this accessibility revolution forward, your engagement here actually amplifies this message to more people who need to hear it. Today, we're diving deep into two major players in this revolution: Amazon Luna and Nvidia GeForce Now. We'll be breaking down them through a deep analysis. But more than that, we'll be exploring what cloud gaming means for our future, not just as people who game, but as conscious consumers, as environmentalists, and as members of a community that cares about sustainability and inclusion. Quick heads up. In the description, I've linked the full live stream recordings where I captured both these sessions in real time under actual gaming pressure. No staged scenarios, just genuine gameplay. Check those out for complete transparency on how these platforms perform. So let's jump in. Let's start with what these platforms are doing right, their strengths, the internal advantages they've built into their systems. Amazon Luna has some genuinely impressive features that showcase thoughtful design. First off, the pricing is incredibly accessible. For those of us who've been priced out of gaming in the past, Luna's cost structure is a breath of fresh air. But beyond just being cheap, Luna remembers your graphics settings between gaming sessions. This might sound minor, but trust me, when you're someone who doesn't want to fiddle with technical settings every single time, this is huge. The stability is remarkable too. No crashes during operation, minimal freezing, and when freezes do happen, they last maybe a second. Luna has also integrated Twitch streaming directly into the platform with an intuitive interface, perfect for content creators in our community who want to share their gameplay without jumping through technical hoops. Speaking of which, if you're already using one of these platforms or trying them for the first time, drop a comment and let me know your experience with cloud gaming. And here's something brilliant: quick resume functionality. Your game state persists even if your browser crashes. You can literally return instantly to where you were. Amazon has created what feels like a true gaming experience. Not just streaming an image from one device to another, but an actual console-like experience with comprehensive graphics settings. Nvidia GeForce Now, on the other hand, brings different strengths to the table. The app is available on almost everything: phones, tablets, PCs, even TVs. This wide device compatibility is essential for accessibility. Think about your friends at school or work who complain about not being able to game. This is their solution. Send them this video because cloud gaming outside the home is where it truly shines. The app itself is optimized beautifully, making everything run smoother and more efficiently than browser-based alternatives. For people who aren't PC gaming veterans, GeForce Now simplifies graphics settings in a really user-friendly way. You don't need to know what anti-aliasing means. The app handles the technical complexity. And when it comes to gameplay, especially aiming mechanics, GeForce Now delivers an experience very close to actual PC gaming. Both platforms are bringing something valuable. Luna focuses on stability and a seamless console-like experience, while GeForce Now emphasizes accessibility across devices and simplified user interfaces. Each approach serves different needs within our diverse gaming community. By the way, if you're not part of our funnel yet, join us. You'll be connecting with conscious gamers who genuinely care about making gaming accessible for everyone. Now, let's talk about where these platforms struggle: their internal limitations, and the areas where they're not delivering what we as users need. Amazon Luna's biggest weakness? No dedicated app. You're stuck using a browser, which creates all sorts of compatibility issues, especially if you're trying to game on a TV. And here's where Luna becomes frustrating for casual users. The graphics configuration is way too complex. If you're not someone who's spent years tweaking PC settings, you're going to struggle. The automatic optimization is also noticeably worse than competitors. While Nvidia auto-adjusts settings pretty well, Luna's autosave settings often leave you with suboptimal performance. For people coming from console gaming who just want things to work, this trial and error setup process is exhausting. Plus, there are geographic restrictions. If you're a person living in certain regions like India, you literally cannot access the service. That's exclusionary by design, whether intentional or not. Nvidia GeForce Now has its own significant problems, and honestly, some of these are deal breakers. System instability is a major issue. Frequent crashes that require you to minimize and restart the app. And these crashes create the worst user experience possible. Even when they're minor, they completely break your immersion and waste your time. I'm creating this content as an independent creator without corporate backing. If you appreciate this honest breakdown, consider supporting through a super thanks tip. Every contribution helps me continue delivering unbiased gaming analysis. Here's something that drives me absolutely up the wall. The free version doesn't save your graphics settings. Every single session you have to readjust everything or just accept medium settings. For a platform that prides itself on accessibility, this is a massive failure in respecting users' time and energy. The processing power is also degraded significantly. People who've been using GeForce Now for a while have noticed that performance is noticeably lower than before. Games like Fortnite now only run in performance mode, disappointing users who were accustomed to high-quality graphics. And the loading times? Painfully slow compared to other cloud services and modern consoles that offer near-instant loading. Both platforms have internal execution problems that directly impact the user experience. Luna overcomplicated things for casual users, while GeForce Now fails to maintain consistent quality and stability. These aren't external market pressures. These are choices the companies made, and they're choices that harm their users. If you found this analysis valuable for your next gaming decision, saving this video means you can reference it later when you're actually choosing a platform. Let's shift perspective and look at the external opportunities, the market conditions, and user needs that these platforms could capitalize on if they make the right moves. Amazon Luna is positioned incredibly well for the exploding content creator economy. That built-in Twitch streaming? As more people in our community pursue creative careers through streaming and content creation, Luna's simplified streaming tools become increasingly valuable. This isn't just about playing games. It's about building livelihoods, creating art, and connecting with audiences. There's also the console gaming familiarity factor. As console users become more comfortable with features like quick resume, Luna's console-like approach becomes more appealing. The platform is bridging that gap between traditional console gaming and cloud gaming in a way that feels natural rather than jarring. If you want to support indie gaming content like this, using my creator code FUNthere33 in the Epic Games Store or games like Fortnite, Rocket League, or Fall Guys directly supports me instead of millionaire creators who don't need it. And here's an interesting market segment. People who want to test expensive hardware capabilities before purchasing. Think about it. You can experience high-end gaming without the upfront investment, helping you make informed decisions about whether you actually need that expensive gaming rig. This serves both environmental sustainability, reducing unnecessary hardware purchases, and economic accessibility. Nvidia GeForce Now has significant opportunities in attracting console players seeking PC gaming experiences. There's a whole segment of our community who've been curious about PC gaming, but intimidated by the technical barriers and costs. GeForce Now can be that bridge. I've also created some shorts in the description that dive into each platform individually with different perspectives than today's comparison. Worth checking out for more focused insights. The growing demand for cross-platform gaming also plays to GeForce Now's strengths. People want to play their games anywhere, on any device, without being locked into proprietary ecosystems. And the overall cloud gaming market expansion creates rising tides that could lift all boats. As more people accept cloud-based gaming as legitimate, established platforms like GeForce Now benefit. Both platforms exist in a moment of incredible opportunity. The gaming community is evolving toward more accessible, more sustainable, more inclusive models. The question is whether these companies will seize these opportunities or squander them. This shift toward accessible gaming only gains momentum when we collectively amplify it. Your engagement here genuinely helps spread this message to more gamers who need these alternatives. Now for the harsh realities, the external challenges and risks that these platforms face, factors largely beyond their direct control but which could determine their survival. Amazon Luna faces some serious infrastructure challenges. Even on paid tiers, people are experiencing queue times, 3 to 5 person queues that create frustrating delays. When you're paying for a service, waiting in line is unacceptable. It suggests that Luna hasn't scaled their infrastructure to meet demand, which is a management failure as much as a technical one. Geographic market fragmentation is another major threat. Regional restrictions don't just limit growth, they create competitive disadvantages. While competitors operate globally, Luna's limited availability means entire communities of potential users are shut out, and they're competing directly with Nvidia GeForce Now, which has different strengths, particularly in automatic optimization. There's also this growing market perception of major cloud gaming platforms as anti-human. This sense that these services, despite their accessibility promises, are ultimately controlled by massive corporations prioritizing profit over people. This negative sentiment could impact adoption rates, especially among conscious consumers in our community who care about ethical business practices. We're community-funded, not corporate-backed. If you value independent gaming journalism, consider joining our channel membership or supporting through Patreon or Patronite. Your support keeps us honest and unbiased. Nvidia GeForce Now faces perhaps even more intense pressure. High user demand is overwhelming their capacity. Queues with hundreds of people waiting indicate that infrastructure simply cannot keep up with usage. This creates a cascade of problems: frustrated users, degraded service quality, and a competitive disadvantage against services offering better performance. User experience expectations are also rising. People who game on modern consoles expect instant loading and high-quality graphics as standard. When GeForce Now delivers slow loading and forces performance mode limitations, it's falling short of market expectations. And that 1-hour time limit on free plans? It's creating real scheduling conflicts when people try to play with friends across different time zones or with limited schedules. By the way, what other cloud gaming services should I test next? Drop your suggestions in the comments. Here's something that genuinely concerns me: the social gaming disruption. When you disconnect mid-session during multiplayer games, you're not just affecting yourself, you're impacting other people in your gaming community, damaging relationships, breaking trust. Gaming is social, and these technical failures have real human consequences. Both platforms face existential threats from scaling problems, market expectations, and the fundamental tension between providing accessible services and maintaining profitable business models. How they navigate these threats will determine whether they become genuine alternatives to traditional gaming or just temporary experiments. If you've got a friend who's already using Luna or GeForce Now, forward this to them. It'll give context to issues they're probably already experiencing. All right, let's zoom out and talk about what really matters here. Beyond the technical comparisons, beyond which platform loads faster or crashes less, there's a bigger conversation we need to have as a community, as environmentalists, as conscious consumers, as people who care about building a sustainable and equitable future. Here's the thing: we can run businesses and make money to survive and thrive. But if we're going to do this, it must be done in the most ecological way possible at every stage. Sustainable thinking is always systems thinking. Every action, every choice we make is part of one massive, interconnected system. Changing one thing affects everything else. Cloud gaming fits beautifully into this vision. Think about it. Instead of every single person owning expensive, resource-intensive gaming hardware that sits unused most of the time, we share infrastructure. It's like carpooling, but for computing power. One data center serving thousands of people is massively more efficient than thousands of individual gaming PCs, each requiring rare earth minerals, each consuming energy, each eventually becoming e-waste. If you're watching ads right now without skipping, you're literally supporting indie content creation for free. Those ad views translate directly into our ability to keep producing honest, unbiased gaming content. Let me know if you watched without skipping, or if you're a YouTube Premium member helping us that way. The World Economic Forum talks about dematerialization, shifting from ownership to access, from physical products to services. Cloud gaming is dematerialization in action. You don't need to own the hardware, you access the service. This extends device life cycles, reduces total hardware purchases, curbs resource extraction, and minimizes e-waste generation. Here's where I get a bit sarcastic, but stay with me. Yes, cloud gaming uses electricity. Yes, data centers consume water for cooling. And yes, we should absolutely measure and monitor these impacts. But let's be real. Compared to the environmental devastation of constantly manufacturing new gaming consoles and graphics cards, shipping them globally, and then dumping them as e-waste after a few years, cloud gaming is radically better. Speaking of green alternatives, I've got a deep dive in the description on that other green cloud gaming platform. And yes, green works as both branding and sustainability. Check it out for another sustainable option. This ties into the circular economy concept. We need to move from linear make, use, dispose models to circular systems where resources are reused, where design prioritizes longevity and repairability, where waste is designed out of the system entirely. Cloud gaming supports this by reducing the need for personal hardware ownership and encouraging shared infrastructure. If this environmental angle resonates with you and you want to see more content connecting gaming with sustainability, becoming part of our FUNthere means joining a community that actually cares about these intersections. And it's not just environmental, it's social. Remember those 17 Sustainable Development Goals? Eliminating poverty, achieving food security, ensuring quality education, promoting gender equality, reducing inequalities. Cloud gaming actually connects to these goals by democratizing access. A kid in a low-income household can now play the same games as someone with a $3,000 gaming PC. That's inclusion. That's equity. This is exactly why we need gamer-funded, community-driven content instead of corporate-sponsored reviews. If you value this perspective, a small super thanks contribution helps us maintain this independence. Cloud gaming isn't a perfect solution. No technology is. But it represents a step toward a more sustainable, more accessible, more equitable way of experiencing something we love. It's part of a larger transformation toward conscious consumption, toward respecting planetary boundaries, toward building systems that serve all people rather than extracting maximum profit for a few. And if you believe in this vision strongly enough to help us spread it, bookmarking this video ensures you can share it when these conversations come up in your gaming circles. To Amazon Luna, Nvidia GeForce Now, and other cloud gaming services, if you're genuinely committed to accessibility and sustainability, I'm open to partnerships that align with these values. Let's talk. And let us know in the comments, what are your experiences with cloud gaming? What values matter most to you when choosing a platform? How do we, as a community of conscious gamers, drive this industry toward a more sustainable and inclusive future? Because ultimately, this isn't just about gaming. It's about what kind of world we're building together. It's about whether we can enjoy our passions while also caring for our planet and each other. It's about being our authentic selves while also being responsible members of a global community. Once you've joined our FUNthere, come back regularly. Even if you don't watch every video, bookmark the Fortnite playlist or any topic that interests you from the description and check what's new. We're constantly exploring these intersections between gaming, sustainability, and community. That's our big vision. That's what's at stake. And that's why this conversation matters so much more than just Luna versus GeForce Now. If this resonated with you, your support through channel membership, Patronite, or Patreon keeps alternative voices like ours alive in a space dominated by corporate interests. And if you're playing any Epic Games titles, remember that creator code FUNthere33. It costs you nothing, but directly supports independent creators like me, instead of already wealthy influencers. Also, YouTube has this new hype feature. Showing your enthusiasm there actually helps smaller creators like us get discovered by people who need this kind of conscious gaming content. And here's something simple but meaningful. Letting ads play through without skipping is genuinely equivalent to sending a donation. It's free support that lets me earn honestly without old-fashioned financial barriers. Whether you're watching ads or you're a premium subscriber, both help tremendously. Thanks for watching, FUNthere. Stay conscious, stay creative, and keep gaming sustainably. Make sure you've got this video saved for reference when you or your friends are deciding on a cloud gaming platform. See you in the next video.
Hope for something better, looking at the clouds, decipher